Now, people, the police are reporting that a man was fatally stabbed during a confrontation at a political meeting in Shedburg, Manchester on Friday night. Sources say the incident happened at a recently opened constituency office for the ruling Jamaica Labour Party in Manchester North Eastern and involved two supporters of the JLP. The deceased has been identified as 53-year-old Andrew Hendricks, a farmer of Christiana in Manchester. A police report said that about 8:50 p.m., Hendricks was at a political meeting among a group of people when he reportedly got into an altercation with a man and allegedly attacked the man with a knife. Police said the man disarmed Hendricks and used the knife to inflict stab wounds on Hendricks. A senior police source said Hendricks inflicted a stab wound on the man before being stabbed multiple times by the man. Hendricks was taken to the nearby Percy Junior Hospital where he was pronounced dead on arrival. The Manchester police are now searching for the man who allegedly disarmed Hendricks and stabbed him. Police are appealing to the man to turn himself in. Investigations are ongoing. People, you see, that's something when you're in politics. Some people take it too serious, you know. You may tell you? Some people take it too serious. And over and over again, we see where these things cost life. People dead over politics. How you got dead over politics now? Talk the truth. How you got killed over politics? Can you imagine? Let me say R.I.P. to Mr. Hendricks and condolences goes out to his families, friends and well-wishers. Right now, people, if you take some JLP off a street and take some PNP off a street and lock them up in a one room, remember say, when you pull a room, everybody good are dead. To how them go on with each other. You see? And me I try show you say, when me look in the House of Parliament, me see JLP over here so, and me see PNP over here so. And me no see nobody a fling no rock stone, a fling no buckle, nobody with no machete and a knife. Them not fight. The MPs them not fighting each other. The MP them not kill off each other. The MP them not bat no gun pa each other people. So why we are do it? The MP them now take out their knife and stab after each other. So why we are do it? I wonder if no sister we are idiot. And this man you know, Mr. Hendricks, them say him pull knife, pan the man, stab the man take back the knife and stab him. The man disarm him. The man disarm him wicked after the man get the stab and stab him several times. See? And he reach the hospital and end up dead. And that the man is up on the run now. What caused this? Politics. People, we need to wise up. We need to wise up. You hear me I tell you? I have a voice note I want to play. And this lady is talking about the 1980s election. Right? And she has said the 80s election is the reason why PNP did have the country after that for so long. Because people afraid to vote for JLP. People, in them time, I tell you say, politics different from back in the days. I tell you, know, because the things that me grow on here, no normal. And this, what this woman I talk about right now, if you tell you the truth, at first I never hear about this. I never hear it yet. So people, sit down and take history. Whether you are JLP or you are PNP, these are things we need to know. So make we listen.
And to the people them were always a talk about the 18 years that PMP was in power for. Come to the front of the class, you guys I come about. And to the Jamaicans and the people who don't know their history, come to the front of the class. Because Marcus Garvey and I quote said, a people without the knowledge of its history and its culture is like a tree without its roots. And many are out here without the knowledge of our history and our culture. So we just out here and see we are blab them out, because sometime in the comment section, me don't know what to do, we don't know. Like, seriously. No, let's get into it. The reason why PNP could be in power for 18 years was a result of what happened in the 1980s when Edward SEAGA was the Prime Minister of Jamaica. Now, there was an election in the 1980s. It was October 20, 1980, when they October 20, but sometime in October. Yes, when there was an election that was called Now, mind you, Michael Manley, he was a socialist, more of a democratic side. So he was very good friends. So Jamaica, in that time, Jamaica was very good friends with Cuba. Mind you, the US, the United States of America, led by Ronald Reagan, the Republican president at the time, he saw that as a threat because, as you know, Jamaica is the capital of the Caribbean. Period. So they saw that as a threat for the most influential country in the Caribbean being, siding more towards Cuba. He saw that as a threat. Now, being that he saw that relationship with Michael Manley and Cuba, he decided that, okay, he sided with Edward SEAGA. He was more of the, open trade free market type of thing. So he sided with the SEAGA and them shipping the guns them and the things them in Jamaica to destabilize the country. Jamaica became destabilized. So during 1980s when the election was called, over 1,800 people were killed because of politics. The guns were shipped into Jamaica to cause an unrest. Now, during that election, there was a landslide. JLP government, Edward SEAGA, win by a landslide because people could go to vote. They threatened people, they killed people, they dumped ballot boxes, they did all kind of things to intimidate the people of Jamaica to not going out and vote. So Edward SEAGA, of course, won the election. Okay, and he was leading Jamaica. During the 1983, he called a snap election. The PNP decided they're not going to contest that election because the voters list was not updated, because during remember the election that was called in 1980, that election a lot of people died. So the voters list would need to be updated. SEAGA decided to him not update the voters list. A bad man thing him depend, so voters list not update. So the PNP decided, say, Michael Manley said, no, I'm not going to contest that election because the voters list need to be updated, and then because there need to be some kind of fairness within the electoral system. He did a contest, so they won by default, 60 seats. They won, and they were controlling Jamaica. Mind you, Jamaica was owing debt to the IMF during that period. SEAGA also went and borrowed money upon the debt that they already had to the IMF. SEAGA went and take more money from them. So double debt. Now the IMF had strict and harsh measures because they want back their money. So because of those harsh measures, bare unemployment happened. SEAGA privatized a lot public institution. He privatized them. Unemployment rate skyrocketed. The dollars was sliding. So people are dead for hungry because of all those harsh measures that the IMF put in place. So during those time, guys, everything was bad. People were dying from hunger. The country is still, crime and violence is still a skyrocket. I remember you're shipping beer guns. So a beer gun thing now. Garrison would become worse, and that's how Garrison was formed during them time because of that. So say I be a Danny in charge now and all of these things. Now the people, migration started to happen. So so the people with them degrees, the people that are well off, just like now that is happening in Jamaica right now. The people, the teachers, the professionals, the people with the education, they started to migrate to England, Canada, and US, just like what's happening now where nurses or doctors or teachers are leaving Jamaica. That's what happened during those time. Anyway, because of everything that was happening now and everything was going, and the people, they must see people dead for hunger, suffering that go on. There was an election 1989, and the people voted back Michael Manley into power. And because obviously they're going to, Michael Manley came back into office and he started to turn around the economy. So that's why the people because of how traumatized they were underneath the JLP administration led by Edward SEAGA. Edward SEAGA could never became Prime Minister of Jamaica again. My grandfather used to tell me when I used to ask him, like, Granddaddy, why are you so strict when it comes to being a PMP? And he told me Edward SEAGA, but back in the days, old people didn't really tell you the details. In just names, Edward SEAGA can never be Prime Minister of Jamaica again. That is why, and that is why the people were even traumatized. The older people up until millennials were so traumatized by the JLP party that they never wanted to see them in office again because of that. So that's why PNP could be in office for 18 years. So when no one come and talk about the 18 years, I for no fault, labor rights, I for them fault because of the damage that they did to Jamaica, that Jamaica still is recovering from because of the garrison that they created. Jamaica is still recovering from the dons and all of them stuff there, and them make so much gun they down there. So come to the front, man. Come talk, because you're full of beer yappings. But because you guys just run with one set of thing, 18 years, like, why? Tell us why. That is the reason why. So come down in the comment section, come argue with yourself now.
People, this is history and we need to know. As me said before, me never know this. Believe me to God, me never know. Anyway, let me know what y'all think in the comment section. Big up on yourself. I'm out.